Hello, and welcome to Empowered Learning. This is part 2 of the Using Venn Diagrams in Word Problem video series. So in this video, we're going to work on an example to where we have results from a survey, and then from that, we're going to form a Venn diagram of the results from the survey to be able to answer some questions. So our example here says, a TV broadcast company recently took a survey to study their customers' TV watching patterns. And so the participants were asked their preference on watching TV on weekdays, which that is going to be described by the set S. Their preference on watching TV early, which E would describe that set, as well as if they watch reality shows. And of course, R would describe that set. The results of the questions asked are listed below. And so we're going to see those in just a second. We want to determine the following from the information that's given to us. We want to know how many people do not want to see reality shows, and we want to know how many people prefer to watch TV on the weekend. So let's go ahead and look at the survey results. So if we scroll here, we'll see that we have 3 people that prefer reality shows early on the weekend. So that means they want to watch reality shows and they want to watch it early and they want to watch it on the weekend. And so if we think about that in terms of set theory, what we're actually saying is that we know that 3 people belong to the set that is the intersection of reality shows, which is R, and early, which is E, and weekdays, which is W. So we could express this as the cardinality of R intersection E intersection W is equal to 3. So we're going to continue this notation with the rest of the survey results. And so we're going to translate these results here into our Venn diagram once we're done. So next we see that 14 people want to watch TV early on weekdays. So that means they want to watch TV early and they want to watch it on weekdays. So this would be the cardinality, or the number of people that are in the set of E intersection W, and that would be 14. Carrying on, we see that next we have 21 people want to watch reality shows and they want to watch them early. So that would be cardinality of the set R intersection E, which is 21. Next, we see that 8 people want to see reality shows on the weekend. So we have R and W, and they want to see them reality shows and on the weekdays, not weekends, excuse me. So we know that that's going to be the cardinality of the set R intersection W, and that's going to be 8. So from there, we see that we have a total of 31 people who want to watch TV on weekdays. And so of course, that was just our set W. So cardinality of set W is 31. We see that 36 people want to watch TV early. So cardinality of set E is 36. 40 people want to watch reality shows. So that would be cardinality of R is 40. And then of course our last set, or last result here, is that 13 people prefer late weekend shows that are not reality shows. So of course, if they prefer late, that is the opposite of being early. So here, how we would express that as E complement. And they want weekend shows. If you notice here, weekdays are W. So weekend, which would be the opposite of that, would be the complement of W. And then of course, if they don't want reality shows, then they want something that is not in the set R. So we want something that is not in set E and not in set W and not in set R. And so one way that we could express that is the cardinality of E complement intersection W complement intersection R complement, and all that would be 13. According to De Morgan's laws, we actually see that we could also rewrite this another way. So we can translate this in terms of union. We could say that this is going to be the complement of E union W union R, like that, and that would be the equivalent set. And of course, the cardinality would be the same. So we have all this information here, and if you're watching this video, I would suggest that you go ahead and pause the video right now and jot all of this down. Not necessarily what the survey results said in words, but you want to jot down everything that's under the column that says set notation representation, because we're going to use this when we go on to the next page to be able to fill out our Venn diagram so that we can answer the two original questions that was asked of us. So now we'll go ahead and move on to our Venn diagram. All right, so now we have our Venn diagram here, and so you can go ahead and draw this out if you want. Of course, set with just R, E, and W all sort of overlapping each other. And we're also going to say that everything that is outside these three sets, but inside the box there, is going to be what's considered everything that's not in these three sets here. And so that brings me to the very first thing that we want to cover. And so if you notice, the very last survey result that we got was we saw that 13 people preferred late weekend shows that are not reality shows. And so, of course, they didn't want to be in reality set, they didn't want to be in the early set, and they didn't want to be in the weekdays set. So that tells you that you have 13 people that are essentially outside of all three of these sets. Okay. The next thing, and we want to start from the inside coming out. So the innermost set that we have here in our Venn diagram is the intersection of R, E, and W, which is right here. Okay. And so in that, we see that the very first survey result we got was that 3 people preferred reality shows early on weekdays. So in other words, they preferred reality shows and they preferred to watch them early and they preferred to watch them on weekdays. So we see that that's the intersection of R, E, and W. And thus we see that we have 3 people there. So here we can just put a 3 here. And so now that we've taken care of that, if you notice, we now have information about the intersection of R and E, intersection of E and W, and intersection of R and W. So we know we have information about the intersection of R and E, E and W, and R and W again. So let's just go down our list here and fill in the necessary information. So we know that we have the cardinality of the set of E intersection W, which is all this here, and we know that we have a total of 14 people that fit within that. Well, we see that we already have 3 people in there. So here, if we take 14 and we subtract 3 from it, we'll get 11. And so 11 will be the number of people that are in this portion right here. Okay. And so now we see that 3 plus the 11 gives us a total of 14 people that are inside E intersection W. If we go to R intersection E, we see that we have a total of 21 people. And so that is here. And so now if we take that 21 and subtract the 3 that's already there, we see that we end up having 18 people. So we know what goes in that spot. Moving on to R intersection W, we see that it's in this particular area here, or this is the particular Venn diagram representation of that set. And we see that we have 8 people there. And since 3 are already there, 8 minus 3 is 5. And so we have sort of these next tier inner sets. The cardinalities are filled. So now we look and we see we have information about how many people total were in the set W, which represents people who want to watch TV on weekdays, people who want to watch TV early, which is represented by E, as well as people who want to watch reality shows, which is R. And so we'll go ahead and start with the set W, which represents people who want to watch TV on the weekdays. So for W, we have a total of 31 people. And if you notice here, since we have a total of 31 people, we already have this 5 plus that 3 plus that 11 already accounted for. And if we add up 5, 3, and 11, we get 19. So if we take 31 and subtract it from 19, we get 12. And that is how many people that actually belong over here. So that means all the people who just want to watch TV on weekdays and nothing else. Okay. So we continue on and do the same thing for the set E. Then we see the set E has a total of 36 people. But if you notice here, we have 18, 3, and 11 already accounted for in the set E. And so 18 plus 3 is 21, and 21 plus 11 is 32. So if we subtract the 32 that's already there, we see that we end up getting 4, and that's what goes in the set of everything that is in E and not shared with anything else. And so last, we'll go to the set R. We know that it has 40 people in there. And from that, we need to subtract the total of 18, 3, and 5, which would be 26. And of course, from there, we'll have 14. And so we see now that we have a clear picture of what's going on in terms of where everyone sort of landed in the survey. And so now that we have this information, we can actually go and answer our questions now, and all we have to do is look at the Venn diagram to see. So the first one was, how many people do not want to watch reality shows? So to do that, all we have to do is count everyone that is not in the set R. And so to do that, we just look at all of the numbers here that are not in the set R and just count them up. Okay, so we see that this 4 is not in that set, 13 is not in that set, 11 is not in that set, and 12 is not in that set. Everything that is in the set R, which is reality shows, is the 14, the 18, the 3, and the 5. So all we have to do is add up all these numbers I have check marks by. And so that's 12 plus 11 plus 4 plus 13. And so 12 plus 11, that'll be 23. 23 plus 4 here is going to give us 27. And 27 plus 13 will give us 40. Okay. And so now we just need to look at our second question. How many people prefer to watch TV on the weekend? So that means everyone that is not in the set W. So I'm going to go ahead and erase these check marks here so that we can do it over for that next question. All right, so we want to know how many people prefer to watch TV on the weekend. So that is everyone that is outside this set W here. So I'm just going to go ahead and circle that. Of course, we see that we have 14, 18, 4, and 13. Those are the people that are outside the set W there. So now all we need to do is just add this up. So moving this down some, we have 14 plus 18 plus 4 plus 13. I want to make sure that I got that number right. Yep, that's 4. And so all we need to do is just add this up, okay? So 14 plus 4 here is 18, and 18 plus 18 is 36. And so, of course, if we add up 36 and 13, we will get 49. And so we see that here, how many people do not want to watch reality shows? We got 40 of them. How many people who prefer to watch TV on the weekend? We have 49 of them. And so this is how we take a particular word problem, and these are called survey problems in this particular type of lesson. And we take the information, put it into a Venn diagram so we can make it more abstract so that we can answer any questions and further analyze our situation here. And so this concludes the video on part 2 of using Venn diagrams in word problems.